Welcome back to Hippie Bliss Travel. Today we're going to head toward Multnomah Falls. We're going to do the scenic route instead of going to I-84. On this opening picture, if you take a moment, do you see the four waterfalls? The picture will come back at toward the end of the video, but see if you can find them.
We're doing a daytime event.
Let me show it the card.
We're doing a fairly cheap event during the day. Says 2 to 4 hours outside, active, so probably walking around, and can be done year round. So let's
see what is it we're about
Yeah,
to do.
these adventure bucket lists that we have three of them, one for Oregon, Washington, and California. We are not sponsored. We just got these as something fun to do to show you. But yeah, we are not sponsored. Would love to be, but we're not.
And there it is. It says visit Multnomah Falls.
Which was our my first YouTube video. We went to Multnomah Falls.
Was it?
Yeah, that was that when we did that hike, when we hiked up to the top of the falls.
Oh,
That was my very first YouTube video.
okay.
But we can still go because I know Mount Hood's gotten feet of snow over the last few days. So the water coming down maybe.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we are. We've started heading to Multnomah Falls. My first video was Multnomah Falls. But on that video, we just took I-84 out to the falls. So we'll take the scenic route. So you come out on I-84 till you get past the Gresham area, and then we got off, and then yeah, this is Troutdale we're going through. And my husband's like, I remember hearing something about a road closure on this route. Um, Heading, it's going to be like a 2-year closure while they do some construction. So we thought, well, we'll look on Google Maps, and Google Maps was just rerouting us where we do a U-turn at the construction and head back to I-84. And we're like, well, let's see what, we looked on Google Maps, but without plotting it. And, if we're the old school where we're used to bringing out the old paper maps and you can kind of, oh, there's a road here, there's a road here. Yeah, we can do it. Same thing with Google Maps. We're like, my husband's like, yeah, I see some roads we can detour around, so we're good. So we headed off down the road, and then here we came to our first waterfall. It's kind of it's not on the map. It's just we'd had a lot of heavy rain and a lot of heavy snow recently. So this is just a waterfall that appeared with the heavy rain. Yeah, so then we continued on down the road here in just a moment. But our thought for the process for the day was we're just going to stop, and if it has a really cool waterfall or a good view, let's just stop and take it in. Our first stop was a sign that just said a viewpoint up ahead. We had no idea. Actually, we had never been here before. We'd been down this road, but we probably had not seen this spectacular view. We were out on a Tuesday. We have a lot of Tuesdays off, so we go do stuff together. Our first stop was turned out to be Chanticleer Point. It's a spectacular viewpoint that looks down the Columbia River. It's part of the Columbia River Gorge scenic area. And let's see if we get a good picture of it here in just a minute. And then there's Crown Point. That's going to be our next stop. But that's the road construction is between here and there. I know it's overcast, still a fantastic view, but I'm trying to, on a spectacular day, what it looks like. And then after we left there, here's the construction that would have taken us to Crown Point, but we had to find another way. You always hear about the stories like people that follow Google Maps and with the directions, and they lead you not into some, I guess, normal roads. Even though we cannot blame this one on Google, this one was on us because we thought, oh, there's a road, we can do it. Now, my husband and I, we grew up in Colorado, so we're used to the mountain, little two-track mountain roads and using four-wheel drive. Now, my vehicle is all-wheel drive. So we knew we had that. We had a full tank of gas, so we figured, we're good. And so, well, got to remember, don't always, a road is not necessarily a road. Yeah, first we figured out that we had missed a turn. Because again, we were looking at Google Maps, but we weren't following the directions of Google Maps. So this was, we're like, if we had the old paper maps where we kind of laid it out, okay, this is what we got to go, is what we're doing. And yes, I am a fan of the old school, like Atlas maps, the books that you get that I love those. I need to get another one. Yeah, this is the road I'm talking about. According to Google, this was a road. Now, of course, we are not going fast down here. We are crawling down this. I have this at 10 times the speed right now. And we weren't worried about getting stuck. It was if we had a vehicle coming up the road. This is the speed we were really going, the whole thing, just because there really isn't anywhere to pass. But we did notice that the a lot of the tire tracks. So people had been using this quite frequently. So we weren't the only ones to use this road. And this takes us down to basically very close to where I-84 is. It spits us out on the exact road we wanted to, and then we have to backtrack a little bit up to Crown Point. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not at 10 times the speed. We're at 8 times the speed we were driving. And driving through here, towards the bottom half of this, there was actually two driveways. I don't know if I were going by too fast to see them. So there actually was two houses down here toward the bottom half, and you can get a peekaboo views of the Columbia River once in a while. But my husband, he was more paying attention to the road. Yeah, not sure what was going on with the law enforcement and the gentleman in the Subaru, but this is the road that we would have been on. We're coming back to that waterfall in a few minutes. But yeah, now we're heading to Crown Point, which is where we were headed before the construction. And Crown Point is whenever there's like really high winds, or what we call the east winds, where the winds come from the east, blow to the west down the Columbia River, just known as east winds. They're high winds, close to hurricane strength winds. So they always have a news reporter come out here to Crown Point. So one of these days we're like, oh, we're going to come out here if we've got hurricane force winds out here to Crown Point. It's got a spectacular view. We're not quite sure what the building is for because it was closed when we were here today. But yeah, people will stand there and have a hard time walking into some of the east winds. So maybe someday we'll get a video of that too. Yeah, this is across the river again is Washington State. We're looking a little bit west of toward Portland. You cannot see Portland from Crown Point. Yeah, we're an overcast day and this looks pretty spectacular, but imagine it on a clear day with no clouds. Maybe we'll have to come back up and check out the view then. And that is looking east down toward Hood River. And again, yeah, I'm not sure what the building was for. It was closed, so, but it looked like it had some snacks or something in there. And then just up above a little bit, you can see the road closure signs. We'll zoom in on them again. And yet, that's looking west again toward Portland.
That road's closed, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's the road closures. You can kind of see through the trees. That's why we detoured around. And then here we are leaving Crown Point, and we're heading back to a waterfall that we passed between that road, that lovely dirt road. It was actually kind of fun coming down. Reminded me of growing up in the mountains of Colorado, and that was Dad would take the old Blazer out, put it in four wheel, and hit some 2-track roads and see where they would go. Our next waterfall, our next stop is another waterfall. This one is, just a minute or so walk from, well, one view is just up some stairs. And then there is another path that you can go down right up to the waterfall.
That's blowing it off.
Yeah, I had it on a fast speed as we hiked down to the waterfall. But now that we're at the waterfall, this is normal speed. Just wanted to show how much power and how much water was coming down. And yeah, we were starting to get sprayed. You could feel the spray from the waterfall back this far.
at the creek over here, or the little running off.
Yes, the path continued down past the waterfall, but weren't sure how, we didn't think about bringing a water bottle. It was all in the car. So we just turned around and headed back up to the car. And it's kind of cool how the tree kind of grew, the roots kind of grew and then bent straight up. But yeah, we finished this waterfall, headed back to the car, and then headed down the road, getting closer to Multnomah Falls. Stopped at a couple more waterfalls. Yeah, the next stop was Bridal Veil Falls. Now this one had two walking trails. One trail took you down um to the to the falls, the waterfall. And then this path took you to like a overlook of the Columbia River. To give you an
Okay.
idea, I-84 is between where we're walking and the Columbia River. So it would be mainly off to our left if the way we're heading at the moment. But this is the trail. You got peekaboo views of the Columbia River right now. And yeah, this one is pretty much all downhill to the falls, except for this little part. And then it's all uphill. And again, I've got it on a faster speed to do our walk. And then I slowed it down to, I think, normal speed here. And again, we'd had a lot of rain and snow in the I don't know, a week or so before we're out hiking. It's one of the reasons we went today is because yeah, it's sprinkling, but for us in Oregon, it's a dry day when it's just sprinkling. It's not a massive storms. Yeah, to give you an idea about the rain in Oregon, people from Oregon, we were, I don't know, what was it, maybe not quite 10 years ago. We were down in Orlando at Disneyland, Disney World, sorry, yeah, Disney World. We took the kids, and it was getting the end of the night, and my husband and one daughter were going to wanted to hit one more ride before we left, and my other daughter wanted to go to the castle and see what was it? It was like a laser show or something on the castle, and it was pouring rain, and everybody's huddled indoors in the buildings and kind of under the eaves. And my daughter just looked at me. She goes, "Come on, Mom, we're from Oregon." Kind of pushed our way through everybody, and off we went in the pouring rain. It was a warm pouring rain, so it was kind of nice. And before, what I don't know if it was whatever the show was on the castle. Maybe it was the fireworks. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, it stopped raining. We had a good viewing spot, so everything worked out good. Yeah, this is part of that other trail I was showing you, the overview trail that kind of overlooks I-84, and then there's the Columbia River. And this is my husband and I noticed after a while that yeah, this is the one with the waterfalls. This one I don't think I have the next view. Yeah, there's the two up here on the top higher level, and then as you come down, there's two more waterfalls right into the river. So this was the opening picture that I used. Asked, "Did you see the waterfalls?" So this is also looking west again toward Portland. You cannot see Portland from here, but it's that direction. And this overview walk was completely flat. I think it was completely paved if I remember right too. And then our lunch that day, we tend to, pack some sandwiches and some snacks, and off we go. And again, heading still toward Multnomah Falls. Haven't gotten there yet. Some more construction. And all this construction they're doing through here is part of, I think it's like a 2-year project to take care of stuff here. Now, as we pull into this next waterfall, you will see that the road is completely blocked here. And Multnomah Falls is like a half mile down the road. There is a path that's a half-mile walk and then a half-mile walk back, or you could go back and they had detour signs to put you back onto I-84 to go to the next exit, to the Multnomah Falls exit. And that is a left-hand exit. It's into the center. The parking lot for Multnomah Falls on I-84 is actually in the center between the east and westbound lanes. And then they have a bridge that you walk under. I don't know if you can notice in the picture, but about halfway, or maybe not quite halfway, there is a bridge that we're going to be heading to. Get a better view of the upper fall. Once we got back down to the car and realized that we'd either have to walk or go drive around, my husband's like, "Oh, I don't mind walking down there, but man, that we've I don't know, we've been gone to almost 3.5 hours at this time." And so we decided, okay, we'll at least drive down to Multnomah Falls. I'll get a picture. And then with the detour, somehow we ended up on westbound I-84. So we were going to have to go down to the next exit, turn around, and go back. And my husband goes, "Can you just use some footage from your last visit?" And I was like, I got a hint that he was done for the day, and which is fine because I do have a whole video on Multnomah Falls about hiking to the top. So instead of adding some footage, I'll just put it here at the end, and if you want to watch it, it was about a year ago. It was a nice sunny day. We did hike to the top of Multnomah Falls, and you can get a view over. This is just the traffic coming back into Portland, and this is we're on the east side of the Columbia River at the moment. East side of the Willamette River, not the Columbia River. Sorry about that. And then downtown Portland would be on our right. So thank you for coming along till we almost got to Multnomah Falls. Hope you had a good time. If you made it to the end, give us a like and a subscribe. If not, I will see you next Sunday. And if you want to see the hike to Multnomah Falls, I'll put it here at the end. Thank you for watching Hippie Bliss Travel. Have a good day.